It's Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, and we are here with Ateret Cohanim on a special day, strengthening their activity, basically taking part, participating in strengthening Jerusalem, being part of building Jerusalem. Shalom to Daniel Luria, Ateret Cohanim.
Shalom, shalom. It's great. It's a great day for us, a great day for Am Yisrael. In addition to the last few weeks that we've seen huge achievements, whether it be the Mossad, the Tzahal, at every level.
Looking forward to tomorrow also.
Tomorrow, the embassy, politically, militarily, strategically, we're looking up. But of course, today is Jerusalem Day, and Ateret Cohanim, we're at the forefront. I think I call ourselves the pumping station of Jerusalem, fighting the Seventh-day War.
The Seventh-day War.
Seventh-day War.
So let's take it back to the basics. Yeah. Ateret Cohanim, what do you guys do? For those who aren't familiar, there might be one or two.
If there are some out there that don't know who we are probably the most important non-profit organisation vis-a-vis the future of Jerusalem. There is a certain battle taking place. Do we have rights here? Do we not have rights here? Should we be able to live in certain parts of Jerusalem, East versus West Jerusalem? We basically strengthen Jewish roots in the heart of one part of East Jerusalem. Most of East Jerusalem is already in Jewish hands. 215,000 Jews living in neighbourhoods like Ramot, French Hill, Pisgat Zev, Nevi Yaakov. But the Holy Basin, which is the old city in the area around, that there isn't so many Jews, and that's what the Arab world wants. Now, obviously Jews for generations have wanted to be close to the Temple Mount, close to where our history and heritage is unfolded, and that's natural. But at the same time, we understand that our facts on the ground, the Jewish presence, the neighbourhoods that we're building, the strengthening of the Jewish roots in and around the old city, this is paramount. Because ultimately, it's not enough just to daven for Yerushalayim. At the end of the day, you have to fight for things. Nothing's on a silver platter. Learning Torah, Limud Torah, and the land of Israel, especially Jerusalem, has to be fought for. We have to desire it, we have to want it, we have to search for it.
And when you're saying fight for, you're talking about actually purchasing. Going ahead.
Jews around the world who are interested in holding on to Jerusalem, who want to keep Jerusalem in Jewish hands united, do whatever is necessary, in this case, to help acquire properties where be. And also look after the life of the families living there. We have 21 families living in the old Yemenite village of Shiloach, sometimes under fire. I need security projects funded. I need a new nursery in the Yemenite village. Why send them in a bulletproof jeep to the city of David or to the old city when we can have something in-house? And it's not so straightforward for families living there. So we need people to donate to feel like they're part of the story. If you can't physically live in the Yemenite village or the old city, then help the Jewish families that can and are ideologically motivated. I have to build 2 play centres, 2 rooftop playgrounds here in the old city. Jewish kids don't play in the streets. So I need people to donate to help us build 2 rooftop playgrounds. We can renovate properties and add Jewish life also. The acquisitions is a bigger story, and that in any case can't directly go through our American office. That has to be directly with Ateret Cohanim here in Israel. But donations for Jewish life in the heart of Jerusalem. I understand
specifically this campaign is relating to 10 apartments that exist but are not ready for use, right?
It's both adding Jewish life, renovating places that can be renovated, and a few children's projects. Wow. We definitely have those 2 rooftop playgrounds that have to be done. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we get enough money in to build 2 rooftop playgrounds and have 2 nurseries. If children in the old city in Yemen village doesn't speak to people, I don't know what does.
Let's talk about the balance. You mentioned that we're sometimes under fire, but they have a regular day-to-day life. It's a balance that you try to explain. We were there, we visited the areas. People there live a normal day-to-day life, but they're in a mission of a mission. It's an important mission of the Jewish people.
It's an ideological mission because they are representing the Jewish people at this forefront, basically. For the children, those who are born into it, it's sad they can get used to a Molotov cocktail thrown at night time. It's sad they can get used to rocks being thrown at the rooftop at night. But life goes on. There are some logistic issues of getting food in and out, moving from one place to the other, like anywhere inside the old city. But they are driven, they're ideological pioneers of this generation, just like those that came 100 years ago and make the deserts bloom. We've got ideological pioneers today, but they live regular lives. It's generally quiet. I don't want to paint a picture that it's non-stop under fire. It's not like that. Even the Yemenite village that has seen a lot of terror attacks in the last few years, there's been a lot of arrests made. There's now police, border patrol police, and we've gone from 9 families to 21 families. That has brought additional security. I want to tell everyone who's listening to this little talk, understand that more Jewish life makes the place more secure, because strength and conviction brings ultimately security. And that's part of the job.
So we talked about ideology and about more Jewish presence, but let's look at the history. The Yemenite village. Every place that you go to has a story, right? It's not just about, more Jews. It's amazing.
The Yemenite village is one of those. I call it a sad story in some ways, because the world refers to it as Silwan. The Arab have got an amazing PR machine, but if you repeat a lie enough times, it becomes some type of reality. But the truth is that before there was any Arabs living in what is today called Silwan, Yemenite Jews came. It was empty land. They came, they trekked in 1882. They thought the Mashiach was going to come in that year. Eventually there were 144 Yemenite families. Yes, eventually Arabs did live there and it became a mixed neighborhood. But there were 144 Yemenite Jews in a Jewish neighborhood called Kfar HaTeimanim, Kfar HaShiloach, in the Shiloach, opposite the city of David. Now, someone has the arrogance, the audacity to tell me that I have no rights to buy and to live in that neighborhood. It makes my blood boil when a British parliamentarian says the Jews have no right to live in certain parts of East Jerusalem. It was the British that took out the Jews there in 1938 with a promise that they could return to their homes. The British should recognise, they did enough troubles here anyway, stopping the Jews coming in from the Holocaust, but they've got a lot to answer for, even in Kfar HaTeimanim, where the Jews were meant to return to their homes. Well, we've returned to our homes. And today we have 21 families there, strength conviction. We've gone from 9 to 21 families, and that has changed the face of the village.
So what do you tell people who say, you know what, it's nice, but it's controversial? That's like the politically correct word today.
Everything is controversial. The fact that we live in the state of Israel and the land of Israel is controversial. There are 21 Arab states around us, most of which don't want to see us. Some that want to see us still driven into the sea. There's still Iran. Iran at their airport has got a countdown clock to the destruction of Israel.
In the airport?
In the airport. A friend of mine's father was there a few months ago, and he was telling me he was there, couldn't believe it. He couldn't say anything because not everyone knows that he was Jewish. But it doesn't make a difference. So everything is really controversial, but it shouldn't bother us. And our message is to the world, it doesn't matter what you say. We've seen conquerors come and go. We've seen Babylonians, Assyrians and Persians and Romans and Byzantines. And today they're bylines in history books. You really think it bothers us that we're controversial? We have to do what is right. God gave this land and this city to the Jewish people, to the true son of Abraham. The others were blessed. But this particular land was given to this particular son of Abraham. As many people in the world are starting to recognise, we are the rightful heirs that have come back to our home, and even though the world may not like it, and I think they're waking up to a certain reality. I think by the moving the embassy, it's a huge step, and others will also follow suit. The Christian world had to wake up in 1948 because suddenly they weren't going to replace the Jewish people. And they were theologically bankrupt. So the world will understand that that we're here and we're here to stay.
You're seeing the guys and the girls here making the phone calls. You're in touch with the donors that will double the amount. How are you feeling today?
It's an exciting day. Jerusalem Day for the Jewish people is exciting. But the fact that we are today, Ateret Cohanim was at the forefront of Jerusalem, reaching out to the Jewish world to give, I feel a lot of energy. I feel a buzz. I just hope we reach enough people. And that's why it's up to anyone who sees this interview, anyone out there, if you're hearing this, listening to this, pass on the message. Today is the day to show some support to keep Jerusalem in Jewish hands. If you believe in Jewish presence in the heart of Jerusalem, if you believe that Jerusalem should stay in Jewish hands, no concessions, no compromise here in Jerusalem, then Ateret Cohanim is your ticket to help. Because maybe you can't be here physically. $1, $10, $18, $100, $1,000, I don't care. It's a matter of involvement. It's not enough anymore, and that message has to come out. It's not enough just to sing Lashana Habab Li B'Yerushalayim. Today we're giving the world the opportunity. Anyone who loves Jerusalem, staying under Jewish sovereignty, we're giving them the opportunity to keep Jerusalem in Jewish hands.
Daniel Luria, Ateret Cohanim, thank you very much. Good luck and Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.
Amen.